Greetings! I'm Eli's dad and let's get ready to rumble! Hello again everyone, I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. You know, we've said often on this channel that you either brighten a room and you empty it or brighten a room and you leave it. One of the things that is a critical piece of that is the greeting. You know, there was I remember I worked in this organization, network marketing, and there was this one guy that I used to admire, and a lot of people admired him. His name was Ulysses. And whenever you'd see him, it's just sort of, you have a reflex. Hi, how are you? What's going on? How are you doing? All right? And people usually come back with the same reflex. Fine, and you? All right? Well, Ulysses always would wake you up, right? You'd say, so, how's it going? Well, how are you? Better than good. And you'd stop and you think, because that's not the response that you're expecting. Better than good. So, no, I'm not good. I'm better than good. Think about responses. Now, you know, you see these all the time, you know, in the media. You see them all the time in entertainment more, you know. But it happens, you know. I remember if you were sick in school, before you could go in, before the teacher you wanted to say anything to you, first thing he says, you got a note from your mother? I need a note from your mother. All right, so you bring the note, and I remember bringing it to my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Moreau, and the two fourth grades were right next to each other. I was so lucky to have Mrs. Moreau. Miss Smith used to wear house dresses to school. My sister said, she always wears house dresses. Okay, she wears house dresses to school. But I digress. Anyway, the greeting is important. Central, patch me through to McGarrett. It's the bat phone, sir. Captain, I can't get the engine started. Hello, Newman. Right, so greetings are important. And I wanted to point out to you and show you how important greetings are a little bit by illustrating with one of my favorite characters from one of my favorite shows, a show called Cheers. And the show called Cheers takes place in a Boston bar. And the hero of our particular thing today is the character known as Norm. And Norm was essentially your major barfly, and what the show was really all about, it was like, you know, he was a nobody anywhere else, but in this particular bar, he was a somebody. And there was always a greeting, a memorable greeting, which was why people were excited to see him. So stop and think about this. If you can develop a greeting for yourself that is going to be memorable, then you'll be one of those people that brighten up the room when you enter it and not brighten it up when you leave. Let me give you a couple of samples from Norm, because they're funny, and just want to share them with you if you were not privy to that. Now remember, Norm comes in, always what he's interested in is having a beer. I mean, that's the big thing. So, a couple of characters. The first one is Coach and Norm. And as Norm always walks into the bar, Coach say, can I draw you a beer, Norm? No, I know what they look like. Why don't you just pour me one? How's a beer sound, Norm? I don't know. I usually finish them before they get a word in. What's shaking, Norm? All four cheeks and a couple of chins. What would you say to a nice beer, Normie? Going down? What'll it be, Normie? Just the usual, Coach. I'll have a froth of beer and a snorkel. What would you say to a beer, Normie? Daddy loves you. How about some dialogue between Norm and Sam? Sam's the main character. Norm is this guy comes in. What do you have, Normie? Well, I'm in a gambling mood, Sammy. I'll take a glass of whatever comes out of that tap. Looks like beer. Call me Mr. Lucky. What would you say to a beer, Norm? Hiya, sailor. New in town? What do you say, Norm? Well, I never met a beer I didn't drink. How about a beer, Norm? That's that amber sudsy stuff, right? I've heard some good things about that. Beer, Norm? Have I gotten that predictable? Good. Hey Norm, how's the world been treating you? Like a baby treats a diaper. What you up to, Norm? My ideal weight if I were 11 feet tall. What's the story, Norm? Boy meets beer, boy drinks beer, boy meets another beer. How about between Woody and Norm, Woody Harrelson? What's the story, Mr. Peterson? The Bobbsey twins go to the brewery, but let's cut to the happy ending. Give me a beer. Hey, Mr. Peterson, there's a cold one waiting for you. Yeah, I know. If she calls, I ain't here. What's going on, Mr. Peterson? A flashing sign in my gut that says, insert beer here. Hey, Mr. Peterson, Jack Frost nipping at your nose? Yep. Now let's get Joe Beer nipping at my stomach, my liver. Fair enough? How's it going, Mr. Peterson? Poor. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. No, Woody. Poor. Women. Can't live with them. Pass the beer nuts. Pour you a beer, Mr. Peterson? All right, but stop me at 1. No, make that 1:30. How's it going, Mr. Peterson? It's a dog-eat-dog world, Woody, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. What's going on, Mr. Peterson? The question is, what's going in, Mr. Peterson? A beer, please, Woody. Can I pour you a beer, Mr. Peterson? A little early, isn't it, Woody? For a beer? No, for stupid questions. And my favorite one of all time was, Norm! Hey, what's up, Normie? My nipples, it's cold as hell out there. Okay, anyway, here's the point. You take one little habit that will separate you from the crowd, and then you can become that person that brightens up the room when you enter it. Does that make sense? And because it's dumb to ration the passion, let's all get out there and fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.